My name's Alex and I'm the figure production coordinator and colouring artist for our new Adele figure for Madame Tussauds. The sculpting process takes 5 weeks. We have one sculptor sculpting the head and one sculpting the body. And the sculptor will build on top of a metal armature layers and layers of clay. We get lots and lots of pictures from Adele from all different angles. We get all the measurements and dimensions correct. The next stage is moulding, in which a plaster cast mould is built around the clay head. And then afterwards that's removed and then the molten wax is then poured into that mould. After the wax is cooled, the wax would have shrunk, so that will enable us to pull the mould apart and to reveal the wax head underneath. After the wax head's been cleaned, it then goes straight into hair insertion. It goes in there for 5 weeks and each strand of hair is inserted one at a time. It's real human hair that we use. And the eyebrows are done in a similar way, using real human hair, but it's kind of a thicker and it has like a curve to it in order to build up the eyebrow shape. Then after that's all been finished, it can be then cut and styled just like any hairstyle on a real person. When the head goes to colouring, it spends 1 week in the department. We use oil-based paint, very, very thin layers on top of each other to give the real sort of depth and realistic look that we're after. I worked on the head for Adele for a week. What we want to do is to create the person's skin tone first, skin tone and texture. Because she's wearing makeup, we need to put the makeup effects on top of that as well. The final stage of the process is probably the most exciting part, and that's when we get to see all the elements come together as the figure gets finished for photography. The challenge with Adele's wax figure was it's much the same as any other wax figure that we do for Madame Tussauds, and that is when you create one, you want to create their persona and the feeling of that person. So when the fans come and see her and stand next to her, in the first few seconds they're going to say, "That's Adele." The distinctive features with the Adele figure is really interesting because you can really see the expression in her hands. You know, it's not just about the face, there's lots of elements coming together to give that kind of feeling of her persona coming through.